Hey guys, Paul McLean here, and I got a special treat for you. So I sat back and thought, who do we have that's on the team that most people might not know but need to know? And who do I need to know a little bit better? And Damaris went out there and served over 20 families last month, and I thought, like, I want to know her story. I want to get to know you, know what you're doing, what breakthrough you had. And I believe everybody on here is going to take a lot from this. I know I am, and I'm excited to have you on. So, Damaris, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, hey, it's my honor to have you on. Well, talk to us. Like, tell us about your story. Like, what did you do prior to Family First Life, and how did you find Family First Life?
Well, I used to be a paralegal. I did that for over 20 years. So I enjoyed that for a while. And then I was introduced to Family First Life through a friend, Mark. And Mark told me what a wonderful time he was having with Family First Life and what a great company it is and how much training there is and the potentials that are out there to help people. In the field that I was in before, I enjoyed sitting with clients and helping them. It was a lot of estate planning that I used to do. So this kind of fell right on my lap along the same lines, how to help individuals, how to protect their assets, how to prepare them for leaving a legacy for the family. So I just love the whole package.
Okay, so when you saw this, you thought, hey, what I'm already kind of doing, you found different things about yourself and what you were doing that could kind of translate over to Family First Life and serving clients with life insurance?
Correct. Yes, because there's only so much that you can go as far as in the legal field, as far as my expertise. I feel like with protecting the lives not only of the client but of their families, and something very realistic because I used to get the clients when their lives were a mess because they didn't take care of having life insurance for their children. And now the children were having to reap from those bad decisions. So when I saw that I can
That's
make a
good.
difference in helping prepare families, not only while leaving a legacy, but also helping them uh, right now how to protect their assets, I thought it was a great way that I can use my skills in this field.
I love that. And I think that um, you connected the dots though, and I think a lot of people have some things that they did prior that if they kind of like looked at what they were doing and how they were doing it, they could connect and say, hey, this is probably something that would lead me to believe I could be successful with Family First Life too, because you thought about what you had done before, you thought about how you already kind of saw the other side of it, and then you realized that, hey, this links very closely to sitting with clients and making sure when they die that they don't get left in these situations that I kind of see. And I think everybody should do that. Whatever you did prior, there's something about it that's going to serve you and tee you up to say that you can do this. Because I do believe, Damaris, that we're all in this battle of like just battling against the doubt, right? The doubt of, can I do this? Am I going to be able to do this? And there's certain things that about what we did prior that we can distort and cause ourselves to believe that this isn't going to work, that we're not going to be able to go out and help 20 families a month. But there's those same very things, if you change the way you see it, can be a way to tee you up and set you up to say, no, like, because I was able to go work in that toxic environment, whether, it was a job that you couldn't stand or things that you had to deal with, a boss, like because of that, I'm able to withstand and deal with objections or whatever, tying it to something that can tee you up. Like, man, my old occupation profession, I was serving people. Here I'm serving people. If I could serve them with cheesecake and steaks at whatever, Roadhouse, I can serve them over here, with some life insurance. So I think it's great for anybody to connect some dots. So maybe somebody's on here, what dots can you connect that will actually tee you up for the success opposed to tear you down because you connected it the right way. So Family First Life, how did you hear about it? You said Mark.
Yes, Mark alone.
How'd
We
you
have
guys know
friends.
each other?
We have friends in common, and we're from the same worship place, so we met that way. And he right away thought that I would be a good fit for this type of job, and he introduced me to it, and I just took
Nice.
off with it. I loved it.
So are you pretty happy and grateful that Mark just had that conversation with you?
Absolutely. I am so grateful. I've told him so many times about what a change he's made, not only for me personally, I'm much happier helping people this way. And also very happy that I am able to have my own business. I can go as far as I want to go with this business. I'm in control of how to organize things, and I love the business.
That's awesome. Well, I love that. And think about, like, Mark could have probably assumed that you were pretty much fine, right? Like, you're doing your deal. He could assume that you weren't looking. And I wonder how many assumptions are out there that people are having about somebody else that is keeping themselves from really saving a person or putting them in a position that they're praying for. Like, man, God, I just wish I had something different. And it's just sharing the good news of FFL. Like, hey, let me tell you about, what you can do now. Not everybody does it, but let me tell you that you have your own schedule. You can buy some leads, book some appointments, and this is what you can look like. And I think that there's people on here that I promise you, you've got a Damaris around you that if you just had a conversation, all of a sudden they're having the same story, but you just haven't opened your mouth yet, right? So I think it's important that everybody talks about it because you don't know who is really looking and you can't assume it. You just can't assume it. You do not know. All right, so Damaris, what was some of the big breakthrough? Like, what was the changing biggest thing that you changed or tweaked or adjusted that kind of got you to those 20 families a month?
I would have to say is buying more leads. I have to say, at the very beginning, I was a little cautious. I knew that it was an investment that I wanted to make, but I was a little cautious. I was holding back a little. And then I realized what the more leads I have, the more opportunities I have to talk to people. And so when I started increasing my lead volume, I started noticing the difference. Another thing that I feel has helped me a lot was making sure that I thoroughly worked all my leads. I would go back on leads that I had not found at home. And I continued to call them until they told me, no, I'm not interested. I would continue calling them. And when I took it that personally, that each lead, it's a family that I need to help, I started noticing that, yes, they remembered that I was trying to call them and they were willing to talk to me.
That's great. So when you were taking less leads, was it more painful and was it more difficult when you were calling less leads?
Absolutely. I was hurting myself. I was actually hurting. I thought that I would be in a better position, but I was actually hurting myself because then the discouragement comes. And I was trying to work hard, but once I tweaked that volume, that's when I was able to see those results.
Yeah, I think there's always a consequence for any kind of choice, right? And so like for the agent, and I was that person, like, I'm just gonna take his lead, I want to get the lowest amount of leads as possible, keep as much money as possible, because it's just how I grew up. I was just thrifty and a 9 to 5 employee mindset, and I didn't get like investing back in the business. And what I didn't realize was, like, sure, I might have been saving that $400 that week, but it cost me so much because I didn't have the turnover, the ROI that would be associated if I were to let more of that money go into leads. But also it was so much more of a painful process because I was trying to call people that just don't ever pick up because I didn't have enough leads. I was calling the people that, said they weren't interested 7 different times after they'd already probably blocked my number because I didn't have enough people. So I was trying to make a shot without enough shots to take, right? And I think that's a great thing. Like, most people that have a breakthrough, all they did was they just start getting more families to call. That's it. Like, that's the single biggest thing. And so I'm glad you said it. And I'm glad that you said it the way you said it because it's true. Like, if you just get more families to call and then realize it's a family, not a lead, you're going to have a significantly higher chance to say the things in the right way to get that lead to become an appointment, and then that family be a person family that's actually protected. All right. So last question I have for you. What's kind of the goal? Like, where do you see this thing going for yourself? We're in 2022. You're out there helping 20 families. So as far as your situation financially is probably a lot better than where it was prior. Like, how many families do you want to serve this year? Like, what does that look like for you?
Paul, I just want to continue getting my production up there. I haven't actually thought of a number. I mean, I have an idea of trying to help as many as I can, and I'm getting with a lot of these top producers like yourself and others that are sharing wonderful words of wisdom. But I would love to be able to consistently continue with the amount of families that I'm helping and increase that if possible.
I love it. Well, hey, so if somebody's trying to get a hold of you, they're like, I want to work with Damaris. I want to be on her team. I want her to show me what to do and how to do it. I want a shot. Like, how do they get a hold of you? What does that look like?
They can give me a call. My number is 561-308-7658. And I'll be more than happy to share what I've learned so far with anyone.
Awesome. Well, hey, I think anybody watching this, it would serve them well to work with you. I know you've got, for one, the results. I always want to follow somebody that's actually doing what they say they're doing, or what they're trying to teach. They're actually doing it by example. And also somebody that cares. And Damaris, I know that you do have a heart to care and serve people. And your results, as quickly as they've come, definitely reflect that as well. So good to have you on, guys. Let's go out there and make it a massive week. Let's keep giving it all we've got, going the extra mile. Let's be strong and stay steadfast. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Damaris.
Okay.
Take care,
Thank
guys.
you. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.